Hello and welcome to the Outside the Cockpit Emilia GP preview show. My name is Sam Donzig. Before we get into a quick recap what happened last weekend at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton won first place after overtaking Max Verstappen in the last lap. Max Verstappen finished second, and Valtteri Bottas finished off the podium. Let's look ahead towards this weekend with the. Let's start with qualifying predictions. Let's start with you, Julian. Who do you think is going to take home pole position this weekend?
All right. Well, we are back in Imola. We haven't had an Imola GP. Last year we had one because of the whole COVID circumstances, but beforehand we hadn't had one since 2006. But one thing that we know for certain, especially with the current cars, passing on this track isn't as easy as some people want it to be. What does that mean? It means qualifying is going to be very, very crucial. And if Bahrain at the start of the season is anything to go off of, those Red Bull boys are going to be charging immediately from the jump. Max Verstappen, he's had bad luck in Italy, but he's really hoping to have a good qualifying. Someone who's also had some solid luck in Italy, however, is his teammate, Sergio Perez, who is in that same Red Bull car. He can definitely have a great qualifying session. You can't count out Lewis Hamilton. But if I have to go 1, 2, 3 on how I think qualifying is going to end up, call me crazy. But I have Sergio Perez on pole, Max Verstappen locking it out on Red Bull 1-2. Hamilton going to churn it out to finish out the top 3 in qualifying.
All right, what about you, Min?
I'm going to make a bold and crazy prediction to say that I think that it's definitely just going to be a regular, typical Ham-Botva or just Mercedes and Red Bull on the podium. But I'm particularly, I think that Max Verstappen and Hamilton is probably going to be up there. But it's going to be a tight battle between Perez and Bottas. Something that I would looking up forward to if because Red Bull was ready, but I hope that they won't screw up their planning with the next with the qualifying and stuff, especially with Bahrain when they screw up Perez second stints. Yeah, second qualifying. So that's my prediction.
Yeah, I would probably agree with both of you guys. I have Verstappen on pole position, Hamilton second, Bottas third. I really believe that Verstappen is going to bounce back from his, Imola, his Italian Grand Prix mishaps that he's had or the bad luck, and he's going to put out a good performance. I have Perez finishing fourth, just behind Bottas. It's going to be very close. I do think Perez could finish out to round out that podium in third place as well. It's just going to be really telling as well. And the qualifying is going to be huge because the Imola track is very narrow. It's not very wide and stuff, so overtaking is going to be very minimal, I believe, in the track and stuff. All right, let's head over to our race predictions. Who do you guys have taking home the race win and finishing off the podium as well? Start with you, Julian.
All right, well, Max Verstappen has been amazing this season. And even though I have Sergio Perez on pole, I do have Max Verstappen taking the win. He's been absolutely amazing this season. There's nothing else to really mention. He's been absolutely class. And hopefully he's able to keep that pace and not have his Italy bad luck compared to this past couple seasons. Even in GPs that are not in Imola, he's had a lot of bad luck in the country of Italy. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Max Verstappen is going to work out those demons, so to say, that he has with himself. Sergio Perez, I feel like he's going to round out the podium. He's going to finish third. And Hamilton, we can never count him out. He is absolutely stellar, and he's going to be who he is. He's going to ball out. He's going to do what he can. And he's going to end up finishing second in this race, I feel, in a very close contested fight with Verstappen. That's going to be very, very interesting to see all around, and I'm looking forward to see how it turns out.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's go to you, man. What are your thoughts on who's taking home the race win?
I think the real question here for the GP is how many spins we're going to see from Mazepin this weekend. But I do think that look at Daniel Ricciardo's Shui. I really hope he will get another podium. Definitely, and so that's something that I would want to see. I don't really mind if the final result is just going to be Mercedes and Red Bull, but I really hope to see some McLaren here shining in this GP as well, because also Daniel Ricciardo was also had a really awesome GP last year in Imola as well. Someone that I really miss, and I hope that by some miracle he'll pop up is Daniel Kvyat. He has a really, really awesome race. I don't know. Maybe I hope that I don't think it's gonna happen, but I hope that he'll get a Hockenberg moment and then he'll jump up and that's my prediction for the race.
Yeah, I would probably have to agree with both of you guys. I'm having Max Verstappen take home the race win with Hamilton and Bottas finishing off the podium, Perez finishing in fourth. I think as well. I think Gasly is going to have a good race. I think he's going to have a really good race because we saw what he did. Unfortunately, he didn't have the greatest race in Bahrain due to a collision with Daniel Ricciardo, but he qualified fifth. So I think that that AlphaTauri has lots of power in it, and I think he can finish a high position. I think Tsunoda as well is going to have a good race as well. I'm looking forward to see how well he will do in the race, and it's going to definitely be something interesting to look forward as well. Alrighty, let's move on into some drivers to watch for this season. Let's give 2 to 3 drivers. Let's start with you, Min. Who are your drivers to watch for this season?
Ooh, I'll be a hardcore McLaren fan. I'm really looking forward to see how Daniel Ricciardo is doing because I'm reading this project. I've been looking at him, and he's such a talented driver, but he has so much bad luck in all his races since Red Bull to Renault and everything. So I hope that I hope that I would like to see him more for the season. He was not having a good Bahrain GP, but I hope that we can see more of him.
What about you, Julian?
I think it's going to be very, very close for this entire season because, again, this whole season, it's right before the rule regulations change. It's right before a bunch of things are going to change in the sport for these teams. And we're going to be seeing teams like Haas who are apparently just going all in for next season. And we also have teams that are going to be gunning to maximize this season. So who is a driver to watch? That changes from week to week. So if I have to say someone that's going to dominate this week, or someone's going to take it this week, Yuki Tsunoda is one of my favorite drivers on this grid. He's fast, he's pacey, and he likes pushing the boundaries of what he can. A lot of people are saying that, maybe Pierre Gasly is going to have to start looking over his shoulder because now he has Yuki Tsunoda in the wings. But Yuki Tsunoda, he's a very fast driver. He does what he needs to do, and he always wants more. He proved it in F2. I almost said GP2, but he proved it in F2. He's proved it in his first GP in F1, and at the same time, I'm looking forward to see what Yuki can do. For another driver, this was going to become a bit of a shock for some of you, but the Alfa Romeo has been relatively quick to start off this season, especially by their standards, and in a track that's hard to overtake, and a track that kind of suits their car. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Italian Jesus himself, Antonio Giovinazzi, finishing in the points this race. I really feel that Giovinazzi, he gets a lot of stick from some F1 fans, but he is a good driver, and he's proven he's been able to bring the fight to Kimi. He's been able to bring the fight to other people, and his development has been really solid from last year. If he takes a step up, as he showed in Bahrain that he could potentially have, he can definitely finish in the points here in Imola and get Alfa Romeo on a nice start this year.
Definitely. My 2 drivers to watch for this weekend and for the season are one, Yuki Tsunoda. He's shown a lot of great pace, obviously, in his first race, but as well, if you look at his career in F2 or F2 especially, he won actually. If you take away from, I believe it was the feature races or the sprint races, he would have won the championship alone with half of the races done. So I think he's going to be a great driver to watch for F1. He's got a lot of talent. I think he's probably what some people are considering. He's the greatest Red Bull talent since Max Verstappen. That's what some people are saying. That's what I've been hearing as well in the speculation. So I don't know. It could be true as well. Like he's got a lot of pace. He's shown a lot of great potential. He's always pushing for the car. He's always wanting more. He's never satisfied. Even he finishes, P9. He always wants more and more, which I love about him. He's got that tenacity that Verstappen has and that he had as a young age as well. The second driver I have is not Daniel Ricciardo, but Lando Norris, the other McLaren driver. I think he's really matured as a driver over the past years. And I think Daniel Ricciardo has got to watch out for him because Lando Norris is not the same young guy, rookie anymore, like fun guy. Like he's a serious guy with a killer instinct. He's kind of like Daniel Ricciardo. Like, from the outside, he may seem like a really nice guy, but when it comes down to the racetrack, he's there to win races and to score points, to get podiums, and he had a great first race, finished fourth, finished ahead of the Ferrari. Obviously, the Ferrari isn't as strong as the McLaren, but still a great, very quiet race for Lando Norris. And I think, he's going to be, it's going to be definitely a driver to watch for this season. Alrighty, thank you very much for tuning in to the Outside the Cockpit preview show for the Imola Grand Prix. My name is Sam Donsk. I was joined by Julian Quintero and Min Truong. And we'll catch you next week for Imola GP post-race show.